Hey, you're checking out another Taking Action Group podcast. I'm here with my very special guest, Lisa, and guess what? We just got out of the, what is it called? Movement for the People's Party, and they had that meeting right there with the LA branch of the, the Our Revolution, and like you said, like LA is really on the forefront of so much of the political stuff going on. Yeah, and that was very cool. How'd you feel about how things went right there?
I thought it was amazing, and it reminded me so much of what we're doing, and I thought, wow, it's in the zeitgeist. It's a movement of its moment, it's of its time. And, when things are ready, when something's of its time, it's basically unstoppable. I really do think that we're going to start seeing some changes, major changes over the next 5 to 6 years. We're going to have some difficulties, but we're also going to see some changes. And really, really excited to see those seeds really germinating out here in the West Coast in LA.
Yeah, I was super impressed. Honestly, coming out of the Tulsi Gabbard campaign, I really wished I had seen that level of leadership, from like on the local level. To tell you the truth, but the people there came with so many years of experience, and that's just true for like the Bernie movement versus the Tulsi movement. They just had so much more experience. People with years, decades of experience in the game. You could just see it in the way that they presented themselves. Honestly, for people that aren't even like, if you're just like maybe YouTuber who just like covers these events and doesn't really do actual like, in the streets activism, I would definitely still like, or even if you're just like a hobbyist or even a student, I would just attend these meetings just because you learn like the wealth of experience and the professional way that they are running the organization is really like at the very top tier. So I just felt like, when I was there, I was like, this is an amazing thing right here. Like, and, also seeing how they organize their Slack, they're using something called horizontal, non-centralized leadership style. And I really felt like the Tulsi campaign could have really benefited so much from it. I literally emailed like someone from the campaign. I was like, one of the young people who was involved with the Tulsi campaign at a high level. I was like, you need to like attend this just to like learn from it, for the future.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was also very impressed with the way that they kind of passed the baton. So one person spoke for a while and they passed it on to another person. And you thought like, okay, maybe 2 people are going to speak, maybe 3, but it was like 5, 6. And they just kind of passed on the baton to another person, and they gave you kind of another little like viewpoint, another slice of their pie, and it just kind of around that sort of circle.
But it was obvious.
It was well done.
And each one of those persons, like, obviously had like years in the game experience. It showed in like in the way that they presented. But what was also very cool was the fact that you could tell that beforehand they had split up some, some of the responsibilities of, you're going to cover this particular idea or that particular idea, and they brought their own flavor and idea to it. And I would say that the summation of the parts actually was greater than the whole, and that's really what you want, like when you have a meeting like that. So I was super impressed. Wow, great job. And I'm not just trying to hype them up, like, it's really, they have so much experience. And that's really kind of like, if you study the Tulsi campaign, right, at the very beginning,
it made me excited about what we're doing, actually. Because I felt that it gave me validation. I don't know if you felt that way.
Well,
Did you feel that way?
It was, really, we both have been working, so we know that this is the right way to do it, right? But it was tough because in the Tulsi movement, right, you look at like gang, they have the income movement, they have like the fighting against the, the primary thing going on. And it was so hard to really mobilize like Tulsi supporters into like getting something done. But the Bernie movement had just, and actually I was just going to say that the Tulsi, right, when she first started her campaign, she had a campaign manager, but that manager, like after like a couple of weeks actually left. Right, because that campaign manager had worked for Bernie, so because Bernie had just such clout in the in the political sphere, he was actually able to take all the top talent away from Tulsi and suck them into his own campaign, and that lack of experience was deeply felt, during the campaign. So that was rough,
and that was a bummer because Tulsi was the better Bernie.
Yeah.
As I say, so.
In our opinion, right? Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, that's how we were, right? So, they had like about 600 people attending, which is a good start, right? They have the numbers.
That was a good start. And I had to laugh about that too, because I thought, okay, I wonder how many people are going to be there next week. We'll see if it goes up, it goes down. It will probably go down.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's okay because even people coming in they're interested, and that kind I think those beginning numbers shows the interest and your potential to grow from that number. So I thought it was terrific. I thought it was terrific.
You know, it's also funny. Like I might like from the advertising that I saw from the organization itself, right? Like when they advertised it, like, oh yeah, we got Nina Turner, and she's kind of like a more of a Bernie supporter. But they advertised on Nico House, they advertised on on Jimmy Dore, and I'm like, they're getting all the Tulsi press people. You know, what I mean, like, but I didn't really, like, I was like, well, yeah, what is that? That was funny, right? Yeah.
They don't say it. Totally. They're not saying that Tulsi's the better Bernie. Well, they're not saying that Tulsi's the better Bernie.
I mean, but really, to tell you the truth, though, like from an organizational standpoint,
their actions are.
Yeah.
Their actions are.
But I mean,
right?
Well, I guess Tulsi
their actions are.
I think Tulsi had the better media team, right, with Nico and Jimmy and that, right? But the thing is that really, right, as in terms of organizational experience and ability to get things done, I would say that the Bernie people just clearly had a better operation. You know what I mean? So it's like it depends on which angle.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It depends on which angle you're looking at it from. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go over some of those things too with in one of our "This Is How We Lose" shows, because I wanted to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's definitely so many things to talk about. Like when we compare like the way that their organization was versus the way that Tulsi's organization was. We could delve into that, but yeah, maybe we'll say that for the why Tulsi lost, or maybe we'll say that for that.
Right.
I don't know.
And make that into a 3-parter, 4-parter, because there's several different aspects. But with MPP, the Movement for the People's Party, that is to their great benefit that they can basically plug into the people, the grassroots and the people of action, and laterally move them over to what they're doing. And that is fantastic.
Yeah.
You and I have had this conversation before, and how I felt that, we were the action people and we left, and we somehow, there are still people who feel like they need to get validation from the Tulsi campaign. And it's like, what validation? We were the ones that did something. We were the ones who were actually doing things, so we're the ones that it wasn't us just taking our toys and walking away. We walked away with the whole playground, because we're the ones that were doing something and we're moving. And now we're just, there's something else, and we're like, oh, okay, you've got all your own stuff. Great. We can bring our talent to this pool of talent. And that's exactly what I wanted to, that's exactly what I wanted to cultivate and still want to cultivate. So I'm going to share screen something with you. Go ahead.
Well, okay. So one of the things that I could say was like in the Slack right now, I could propose in the action group, which I've already joined, right? I said, hey, you know what? One of the issues that we could do is the promise of MPP is to draw in all the people, like Bernie brought in stadiums worth of people into the mix. So if we could really bring those into what we're doing here, we could have a large movement and really get to that critical mass that we really need to hit. So I was like, we should really compose because I saw the letter that Owen wrote, and that was cool, but I was like, maybe the organization can help us write maybe a piece by piece letter, right, with this reason and that reason and that reason, and really spell it out for each particular individual, or make a letter that goes out to all our revolution groups, not just the groups themselves, but also to the members, because honestly, the leadership may try to retain, right, the members and keep them from leaving, right? And unfortunately, that is a reality within these types of movements. Yeah, people try to, but I do they talk about this spoke idea versus stealing members. They talk about sharing consolidation, and I do like that about them. But hopefully, we'll see more of that. But here we see color of change. Okay, so that's is that really having to do with this particular idea, or is this something else? Because color change is not necessarily this.
No, I just wanted to show you how this is basically what they want to do is in the zeitgeist. The Color of Change, which is an organization that has over 1 million members, as saying that we will create a political home for Black people where our members will increase their skill sets to organize at the local level in order to win campaigns that have a real world impact on Black people and build sustainable power. And that's if you just take the black people comments out of it, that's basically what MPP is. That's basically what we are.
Yeah.
So when I'm saying that this is of its time, this is part of the zeitgeist, that I'm not joking. That's exactly what I mean.
Because
I'm so impressed.
I think our shared vision is power to the people, right? Instead of saying, I'm the leader, right, and I'm going to tell you what to do, or I'm going to control all this stuff, we want the people, really. And that's really what, Tulsi's message was, by the people, for the people, of the people. But unfortunately, the people really were kind of told what to do, and it wasn't really by the people. And that's really, I think, was a big struggle of the campaign. And, I think that she wasn't able to really give out that, I feel, I'm making another video on this, but the thing is that she couldn't really put the full trust out there because she was under such attack. So, that's another thing about these movements, and that's actually another discussion I had with Big Talk, Little Talk, and New Progressive Voice. They actually do not necessarily agree with the populist agenda of, otherizing the rich people and pointing the finger at them. But, and you guys can watch, I think that should be coming out on New Progressive Voice soon, that particular video. But I'll just get to one idea of that right quick here. The thing is that I watched actually a podcast with Trey Gowdy, and he said, you know what, we all have what we think is fair, right? But the thing is that when you're treated unfairly, again and again and again, it actually moves your needle a little bit because you want to even things back out. You get what I mean? So the thing is, I say that's why you have to work in the movement, right? Because if you're on your armchair, you look at it and you're like, wow, these people, they seem toxic, they seem, unreasonable, they seem whatever, they're making demands. But you have to understand that only by working in this particular movement and you seeing how, they'll say one thing and do another. So they say the right things and, it sounds great. But then you look at the actual action, you're like, oh, wow, we're getting shortchanged, we're getting ripped off, we're getting destroyed. Oh, we got to come back this other way. And that's why we might seem that way, and when I talk with them one-on-one, we get along. Absolutely. We're cool, yeah. So
it's a pendulum swing.
Yeah,
it's a pendulum swing.
Yeah,
and a lot of people don't realize, when the pendulum's swinging, it's trying to get to the median. The pendulum is swinging because it's trying to make it to the middle. It's trying to be balanced.
Yeah.
But it's doing that. It has to swing the other way in order to get there, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's when things become uneven, yes, you're going to tip that, and of course it's going to go in the other direction because it has to in order to find the true center.
So this is what I told them, right? I said, look, an army is going to need diplomats and it's going to need tanks. And if you feel like the tanks are going too hard, then you diplomats better step up your job. You know what I mean? If you don't like the tanks coming through and ramming it through, then you got to, then show me that you can get it done. You know what I mean? If you don't, then us tanks are coming through. Yeah, so.
Exactly. I finally see the pendulum swinging and it's reaching its, sort of zenith there, and then it's going to be swinging the other way. The signs are so enormous. I mean, just today, Governor Newsom just has a revised budget because of the coronavirus, and he had several cuts. But one of the things that he's going to do is close 2 prisons. 2.
Yeah.
They were going to build more before. In the past, they were going to build more prisons. Now they're going to close 2.
Yeah.
And that's how they're going to save money. So
yeah, I feel a little conflicted about that.
Imagine if we can take the force of this People's Party. Imagine if we can take the force of these People's Party, people who know what they're doing, who have their shit together, who are action people like we are, and then get together and get behind some laws that we can direct action, put on the ballot, and actually get stuff passed. No waiting, no working to get somebody in office who'll just capitulate like that.
Yeah.
I get that if we get to a tipping point where we elect enough people, then we'll be the ones that will be, we'll be the ones that'll have the force, and we can, do these things. But right now, the squad, it isn't enough. They're getting steamrolled. So
actually, to tell you the truth, I have some conflicted feelings about that. I actually noticed that on their actual platform, and I'll tell you why. Because the thing is that I do agree the prison system is going to completely oppressive. I do agree that colored people are locked up and it's not fair. But the thing is that, right, if you take these people out of the prison, right, and then the thing is that if you just dump them on the street and in this bad economy, right, already when you come out of prison, it's so hard to find a job. Now what are they going to do? You know what I mean?
know.
And the
I
whole,
know.
and the prison system is
You-
really dehumanizing. And also, what communities are going to drop all these new people, right, who just got out of jail into, right? I know they're not going into the rich neighborhoods. So those poor neighborhoods that are already struggling with poverty, that are already like overburdened, right? Maybe overpopulated. You got like 8, illegal immigrants living inside like a basement room. You know what I mean? And now you're going to stick all the people from the prison system, like, and just throw them into that community. What do you think is going to happen? I think it could be, like, they need certain infrastructures to help them readjust and to reacclimate into our society, you know what I mean? But I don't think that money's going to be there. So when we say close the prisons, we have to close the prisons in a way that's going to be sustainable, in a way that's going to be looking out for the best interests and have a long-term vision and plan, instead of saying, oh, you guys won, we closed the prison, here you go, and all of a sudden new problems erupt, you know what I mean? I think that it could be actually maybe even problematic, So you get what I'm saying, right?
That is a problem. But our prisons we have over 5,000 people less in the prisons than we did before, when the coronavirus started in March, because they were letting people out early.
But there's some,
however, we are still at 128% of capacity. We're 28%. That's why, they're bursting at the seams. And this is after we've let a lot of people go. We're talking about there's no room to move in these places.
Yeah.
So there is absolutely no distancing that can happen with them. They stay in there, it's going to be a petri dish, and a ton of people are going to start dying or getting really sick. And that's going to be very expensive because
I agree. Yeah. So, I just wish, I really hope that there's a way that we can really just do. I hope they do it in the right way, because I know that just like everything else, they're probably going to screw it up. They're like, they're gonna get the little headline, they're gonna get the little soundboard. Oh, we closed the prison. You guys got what you wanted. You know what I mean? But and then they're just gonna do it in a really crappy, like half-assed way that's gonna end up shortchanging, or damaging some other communities, and then they'll be like, oh, look, we have to put them back in jail, and I really hope it doesn't become like that, So we'll see. Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, it's really a bummer that that they're coming out in this economy. That's you're right. So many jobs are going away. I mean, supposedly 3% of all restaurants now have closed for good.
Yeah. So what are they going to do when they come out? Where not that they were even eating well
because
before.
A lot of entry-level jobs are dishwashing jobs.
Yeah.
And in LA. There was such a need for dishwashers that someone started a site called dishwasher.com.
Yeah.
And you were getting dishwashing jobs that were anywhere from $15 to $20 an hour.
Hey, do you think that these people who are in prison, you think they've been filing taxes? I mean, they're not going to get that. They're not going to get that. A lot of people in the minority, in the black community. Honestly, I live in the black community. I mean, and where do they? A lot of people making money off the books. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Living that kind of like on that edge, and
right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They're not able to get all these benefits that they're talking about. So Cobra extension, like who's getting health insurance from the employer? You know what I mean? Come on, you know what I mean? So many people working part time. Like it's just there's a lot of ways that it's just looking real fishy. So I just hope they do it right, and and hopefully we can be doing it responsibly. So. So let's look at this dishwasher thing. Yeah. 15, 20
I was like dishwasher.com. That's funny. When I saw it, I just thought it was so. It made me laugh because. Oh, it's funny. Okay, so maybe it's not there anymore because.
Maybe it closed down.
There's no.
Sure.
That's what I mean. That there was an entire website just for people to get dishwashers. That's what a labor shortage. That's how much of a labor shortage there was here, and now the site is gone. So
and, to tell you the truth, also like the thing is that I am also a little bit, I don't want to trigger the audience, but I have my own reservations about Medicare for all. I'm worried about like the implementation of it being done correctly, because already the medical system and the educational systems are incredibly corrupt and inefficient, and the government doesn't get a lot of things right, So that's why I like Tulsi's plan with Medicare with an option, because I just didn't trust the government to really necessarily get it right. And there's, the medical industry right now is like, how many doctors are really like activists against like high, like the ridiculously high price of the drugs, you know what I mean? And they're already like, they are already abusing the system, because I've been homeless, I've been on welfare, I've been on like, I've been also on businesses that have been like successful. I've owned those businesses, like, and I've had employees and all that. So I've been on both ends and seen all the different sides of it. So the thing is, like right now, if you're trying to get like food stamps right now, you can't go to usually like you go to the food stamp office and then, you get that done. Those offices are closed now. So if you're running out of money, how are you going to get those food stamps? How are you going to apply for it?
Go online and do a bunch of stuff. Yeah,
but you need to get the SNAP card. So I guess they're going to mail it to you. I mean, the way that I remember is, if you want to get emergency food stamps, you got to have under $100 in your bank account, and then you go to the office and you get those emergency food stamps. But you can't.
They give you the money there. Right.
Yeah, but you can't get that now. You can't get that now. So there's a lot of things that are changing in this new environment. That's that's going to affect people who are really like in those tough spots.
Yeah, the other thing I was wondering is that, also if you get unemployment, you can't get food stamps, and so how are they going to do that? Because a lot of people have applied for unemployment, but they haven't gotten anything. So if you apply for food stamps, which you can usually get faster, like what's going to happen? Are they going to like come back at you later if you finally get the unemployment, and like, or you got to drop the food stamps as soon as you get it? Like, how's that going to work?
That's right. Yeah.
There's not even those nuances, which is like very real, everyday, like real life on the ground stuff that people are kind of like, trying to figure out, because people want to eat.
And that's why we need UBI. That's why we need UBI, because that solves those problems. Everybody just gets the money. You don't have to worry about this extra crap or like layers or, qualifications, So, yeah. But, they keep trying to stop it,
Right.
Oh, well. So another issue that I want to talk about is at the meeting was that actually I had like some slight, of course, like being Asian, like they could do everything right, but I'm going to point to one thing they did wrong, like being an Asian parent, what's this 99? What's this one question you missed, So the thing is that when we're talking about like the Green Party, right, they said the reasoning for not being in the Green Party, I wasn't really buying it 100%. I felt like there were some good things about it that made sense to me, okay, but they keep saying like, most Americans want a third party. And then they were like, and that's why we need a new third party. I was like, that connection is a little tenuous right there. And I'll tell you that honestly, when I speak to people, my like locals, I was trying to get them to come to the meeting and tell them about MPP, which I did convince some of them that, it's a cool thing. But using the same argument that I told you, right? The real power of it is that, Bernie brought stadiums full of people, and this is maybe a quick way to reach critical mass. Right. But many of them said, we got to support the Green Party. We got to support and they already have the ballot access. So what are we doing? Why are you like trying to redo all this work again? It seems dumb. But they had that lady from the Green Party who made her reasoning, and her whole thing was we need a new energy, a new thing. And you know what? People are attracted to things that are new, right? There's in psychology, there's the idea of like something that's novel or new has its own appeal. But right, the thing is that right. The MPP is not going to be something that can succeed overnight. So 2 months from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, right? How many people are really going to be plugging away hard for this MPP thing? We'll have to see, right? Because it won't be novel at that point. So,
right. I don't know, this Jerry guy, he's a Marine, so he's a guy with stick-to-itiveness,
Yeah.
Kind of like, just like, people would say to me, don't you trust Bernie Sanders? And I said, I trust Nina Turner.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust Bernie so much. I do trust Nina Turner. So,
yeah, Bernie's been disappointing lately, yeah. It's been sad.
Because I expected it, I didn't, I felt more heart stabbed by Tulsi than I did with Bernie, but.
How did Tulsi come up short though?
To me, endorsing Biden, I can't get past that.
She had to though. That was in her contract.
You don't have to do anything.
But actually,
He knows why everybody was.
it's a little bit worse than that, because remember when Kamala Harris actually attacked Biden, right? And then they asked Tulsi, like, how do you feel about, Kamala's attack on Biden? She actually turned it into she actually at that point slaughtered Kamala Harris, who might be our VP pick, how foul is that, right? Meanwhile, they cut Tulsi out of the Unity Party, video, but, yeah. And she never really attacked Biden ever, you know what I mean? But, I get it too. Like, let's imagine, okay.
Yeah, she never attacked Biden. Yeah, she never attacked Biden.
Well, yeah. So this is the way I see it, right? Like, honestly, right? Let's take your best friend. Okay, your best friend, right? And then, oh my God, right? You somehow, like, get to become, like, somehow a presidential contender. You know what I mean? And then you can, like, get political advantage by attacking your best friend's dad. But, you have mixed feelings about it. You get what I mean? I could, like, if it's your best friend, right? Maybe it was her best friend, but it's, a good friend, and you got to attack that person's dad, like, go ahead, do that. You know what I mean? Like, if you think about that, damn, like, once you put yourself in that position, you're like, see yourself really doing that. You know what I mean? Like, really envision, like, like, put their face right in front of you and be like, yo, bam. And just think about, like, are you ready to go that far? So, I'm still not happy about it, because, like, the American people are waiting for you, and sometimes you got to bite that bullet and do what you got to do and be a soldier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, embrace.
But yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, that did suck. Yeah, but she was also contractually obligated to do so, and if she had been in a politically stronger position, she might have been able to make that move. But I think she kind of gave up. So. Yeah, that's my video, like, why I'm concerned for Tulsi, because I'm a little bit worried about her. But also another thing is that, like, I haven't really, like, Twitter, yeah? Like, I wasn't really, like, active on Twitter until this whole COVID thing went on, and I started to, like, mess around with other social media. But she does a lot of talking through Twitter, so I wasn't really getting her messages through there. I remember one time, like, the New York captain was like, yo, Ed, like, I think that Tulsi mentioned some of the things that you worked on Twitter. And I was like, what are you talking about? I never saw that. I have no idea what you're talking about, because I was not completely on Twitter at all. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I don't even know. But, like, I just wasn't, like, on that platform, so I just didn't know what he was talking about, I hope so. Whatever, I don't know. But, yeah, the Green Party thing... I wasn't 100% convinced. I do understand, like, the fascinating with new things. I'm worried, though, that it might be like people might personally want some type of control, or, and honestly, right, the MPP is going to have to deal with their own struggles within them, right, about, like, how to, like, go forward with certain ideas. But what's cool about today was all the people obviously had, like, a long experience as in terms of this thing. I'm sure they faced those battles before. So I think that, honestly, like, they seem pretty well equipped to handle it when it comes, but they didn't really talk in depth about it, because honestly, it's never easy. You know what I mean? And
Yeah. But they did a good job. I mean, they did an excellent job. Also, they have Our Revolution, so, it gives them
they only have one Our Revolution. They only have one. I was hoping for a domino effect. Right now, actually, I suggested that they put together a letter to all the Our Revolutions, so we can approach them, as well as the membership. And actually, they're working on it now, so that was so cool, because whenever I recommend something like that in the Tulsi campaign, I never heard back anything. But immediately, there's people working on it right away, and, like, they're like, yes, that's a good idea, we're on it. I was like, damn, you can make shit happen with this group. Like, yeah, like. They hear you and they're ready to go, because they're decentralized, right? There's 2 committee members, and they're in a complete separate group. And there's something called. Have you seen the regenerative healing thing? That's a unique thing, because that's something that I don't really. Right, I'm so busy driving, pounding, like, trying to make it happen, right? But they have a dedicated little group for, like, or a dedicated subcommittee for, like, taking care of others and making sure that everybody's nice to each other and stuff like that. And that's the thing that I don't have time for, you know what I mean? So it's great that someone's there to, like, kind of, like, make those things happen.
That's what I am for you, bro. I kind of like to face with people a little bit. Hey, you're right. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'll give people time to talk, but they have to talk during phase 2 or phase 3, okay? Phase 1 is about the action, okay? So the time limits, we're going to stick to that, because we've got to be effective and efficient. But yeah, I feel you, because I feel guilty about it too, right? Like, like, I'm telling the guy, like, I know he means well, you know what I mean? But I'm like, I don't have time for this. We got to move on, So. I
Well, I do
appreciate
want to
that.
say
Yeah.
something about Our Revolution.
Yeah.
Our Revolution endorsed Nithya Raman, who
Cool.
ran for city council, and she pushed him to a runoff, and it looks like she's going to take it.
That's a great
So,
episode. I can't wait to cover her because I know you've been like doing so much with her and been following her like
fantastic.
really closely. And you know,
Yeah,
if you're excited about her, I'm excited about her honestly because
yeah,
we see things and
yeah,
just so similarly. Right? We're not always 100% on, but nobody is. But
yeah.
honestly, like it's pretty cool. We call each other what like political soulmates, something like that. And it's kind of true. You know what I mean?
It's
That's yeah.
it's coming. It's starting. It's germinating out here in LA, and I'm so excited. I'm wondering, like, so what are the green shoots that you see in New York? I mean, is it like Jamal, or like who do you think are the green shoots out in New York that are
Well,
really going to make a difference on the ground out
okay.
there?
Well, okay. So like
Right now, New York, Queens is tough. Queens, more people are dying in Queens than any other county, and it's
yeah.
like it's hard. It's hard there right now. So what's gonna happen?
Well, like a lot of those guys already, like I'm supporting my webpage, like Miranda, right? The Anthony Miranda, who's running for
Mhm.
Queensborough president, and then we also have like that Melga Garin. I'm not really happy with the state of his campaign. I think that I think that uh, Jamal's like got a very strong crew, like ridiculously strong, right?
Yeah.
And I think that his crew should be reaching
Yeah.
out and helping Mel, because honestly, I think Mel could use it, and I'm trying to. But and honestly, I'm trying to also grow the MPP. And I met this like I put it in the Slack, right? Like I wish I saw more people from New York in the Slack. But I met two people. Like one of them is like a national coordinator, so like wow, I mean she's probably super busy. I met this girl who's in high school, but she's amazingly like versed in this political stuff. I was like, just because you have with your connections in the Bernie campaign, honestly, right? Like you're a heavy hitter. Like you might even be able to get more done than me in some aspects. And I'm in my 40s and have this experience. Like honestly, I have so much respect. She does like she's phone banking for multiple candidates at this time,
Wow.
and she's got her AP like history test tomorrow. So like, that's hilarious, right? I'm so impressed. Yeah, it's hilarious. But
Wonderful.
yeah, I
That's
don't.
wonderful.
Yeah. So and she
That's
has
what you need.
that
Young
commitment.
energy.
Yeah. So
That's what you need.
tonight I saw a bunch of people on the call who are from New York, and I hope they start to reach out. We'll see what happens. I was watching the Slack for a little bit after the meeting to see if they would come through, but now we're on this call right now. We'll see what happens. But I've created the Facebook group. I haven't really seen the other Facebook groups created yet. I'm already on the Reddit. I'm one of the already premier posters on Reddit. We're kind of like early movers on the digital space, and I'm very happy to be there. Like wow, this is really cool to be in that space, and it's really cool for anybody else who's out there. Jump in. This is a great time. It's a early adopter. Yes, the
Right.
benefits. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Start right, exactly.
Yeah.
Start with your movements, and and frankly, we come in with the things that we know because we have history, and we can say, yeah, this happened, that happened. So we know, you don't. I mean, one of the things that I really liked about Tulsi supporters is that they were all a bit jaded, but then they were excited about her,
Yeah.
and I love that kind of energy because it wasn't it wasn't based on naivete. It was based on knowing like how terrible people could have been in the past, and here's someone who could actually really do it. This is someone who can actually really do it, and people who were sharp, who recognize those traits. And so I feel that Nick Brana, he's onto something, and he's taking that momentum, like the best parts, the action part of Bernie's campaign, and he's trying to roll it over to this to actually create something. I think I think it's over for Bernie. I don't see another presidential run.
He even said so. Yeah, he's too old. Yeah, but
maybe somewhere at the end of his days, and that's fine. But I don't know if I see Bernie Sanders president. And so
yeah, I don't know if you remember do you remember Jim Clark? I just said his full name out there. It's his full government. Yeah, he actually attended some of our Taking Action Group meetings, especially in the beginning. Yeah. And actually, he's one of my guys from New Hampshire. Yeah. So the thing is that, he actually, it's funny because I saw him post on Nico House's, on one of his things, and actually Nico responded. Jim was like, "Yeah, you going to the MPP meeting tonight?
I
think you should go." Yeah. And then Nico said, "I wasn't invited."
Dude, come
Yeah,
on.
man, come on. What are you, some kind of celebrity, man? Get out of here, man. Come on, man. That's not.
Invited.
Yeah, I'm still a fan, Nico, but come on, man. You don't. That's whack, man. Come on, man.
That's right.
Whoa,
Whatever
you didn't
that
get
means.
invited. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
not what this is about, man. This is not
that's
about you.
right.
This is about the
Exactly.
movement, man. But
Exactly.
I mean, he's got his
Exactly.
own thing going. Man. Much respect. You know what I mean? I don't want him to hate me anymore. More, but look, I'm still a fan. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what it needs more. You know what I mean? And actually, I didn't really know. Like, I've been listening to more of like political vigilante. He's been saying some really powerful things about like. I think maybe did you send me the link about what he said about like third parties and stuff like that? And I didn't know he did like like working on the ground. Like, I was more impressed by hearing about that like more recently. You know what I mean? We need a little bit less of the armchair activists and more people to like really put that time in. And once again, I really encourage you guys to, you don't, even if you like don't think like like you think Green Party's the answer, or like you still want to be like, I actually wrote to the Yang Gang immediately. I was like, yo, stick with the Yang Gang, whatever, do what you guys want. But honestly, by joining this organization, you can put your seeds into this organization and like help promote UBI a little bit better. You're going to make more connections, and really their organizational structure is amazing. It's top tier. You can learn so much just by attending the meetings and by like looking at the Slack and the organizational structure. It is top notch. I am so impressed. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
And
came out, yeah.
yeah,
I came out of that meeting
I
feeling energized. I came out of the meeting feeling excited, you know?
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the MPP, the Movement for the People's Party, not the Yang Gang, because you're
Yeah.
kind of speculating more. Yeah, I felt the same way,
Yeah.
and I also think that the first thing I thought was, wow, I can't wait to meet some of these people and to get our ideas together and get on something, because that's how we met. We met through Tulsi, and so. A lot of people have said to me, are you sorry you worked on her campaign? Are you sorry you gave her money? Are you sorry you went out and did that? And it's like, I'm not sorry at all, because I met amazing people
Yeah,
who
that's
I
the
know
best part about this. Yeah.
get things done. So these things that I wanted her to do, I can take the people that I connect with, that I met, and I would have only met through her campaign.
Exactly.
And then you can move on and do those things. So
Absolutely. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, and like I met that person from Detroit. You saw the interview that I did with the guy from Detroit who's starting an MPP over there. You know what I mean? Yo, it's gonna be a great time. We're gonna have this national thing, and you know what I mean? It's cool to be something that's bigger than you. You know what I mean? And where one person could build a house, a team can build, skyscrapers. We can do amazing things here. And honestly, look at this right here. Look at we created this. This is amazing, right? Yeah. So,
right.
yeah. Yeah, and honestly, if Tulsi campaign's watching, I know a lot of people that are Tulsi fans. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why they try to compartmentalize the campaign. Like, if you still go to the Facebook groups like Tulsi, like hashtag like California or whatever, like it'll say, "Oh, do you live in this state? Like, if you don't live in the state, screw you. You can't join this group." Don't do that. Don't do that. Let us. That's the best. That's the most fun part of this.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we mean. It's like
Yeah.
what we're talking about. It's
Yeah.
like that's not how you grow a team.
Yeah.
That's not how you grow a movement.
And this group right here, actually on the Slack, right? I said, you know what? I already created a New York City movement for People's Party, like Facebook group. And the thing is that I want to actually for best practices, I'm inviting people from all the regions to join, and I want to join yours too. And the committee guys said, hey, that's cool, and we're working on making a new document to help you guys put that together. What a difference. I'm getting I could come with anything I want, and these guys are helping, you know what I mean, rather than getting in the way, you know what I mean?
Right.
And you can really push things forward and get things
Instead of
done.
tripping you up,
Yeah.
Instead of putting up barricades. Yeah.
It was super
Ridiculous.
frustrating. Yeah, it was super frustrating
Yeah,
getting things done within that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm chasing down what happened in the Tulsi campaign because I'm worried that may have been done by by infiltrators that tried to sabotage the campaign. So when they come around for MPP, I'm gonna be ready. I'm be watching, and
you know what I was going to ask that question.
Don't even dream about it.
Do you think that I was listening to them and I thought to myself, I wonder how many people from the DNC are listening. I wonder how many people. What do you think?
I think that they know that. First of all, they know. They better know how tough I am. And that guy Jerry, oh my God, me and Jerry together, you don't want us on your case. You definitely don't want that. Me and Jerry, oh, forget about it. It's game over.
You and Jerry, oh
yeah,
no.
we'll come knocking on your door. You know what I mean? Do not try to sabotage this.
Talk about East Coast, West
Yeah,
Coast.
do not try to sabotage this. Do not even dream of it. Do not even think about it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be over. You know what I mean? I will fight back just as hard. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you too. You're a warrior in this. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's super cool. So yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
I mean, it's like I said, you know, once I came to the realization that, oh, wait a second, I'm worried that they're going to keep me out of the action. I am the action. I'm the only action that's been happening. What do they keep me out? I'm like, I keep them out. I'm the only thing that's been going on. What am I afraid of? That they're going to ostracize me? I'm the only one that's been doing anything. And so I'm not the only one, but trust me, there's a handful of people, and I worked with them. So it's, you know, and so when you get that, you realize that, you know, these committed few can get so much done.
Yeah.
And even if just even a quarter of the people that, you know, are as energized as we are, they're onto something. They'll get what they want to, that they will actually attain what they want to attain. They're going to get on all 50 states. They'll do it. Yeah. I've seen it happen before. When I was in college, I worked on the Ross Perot campaign, and
yeah, I like Ross Perot.
he had mid-race, he had dropped out of the race because him and his family were threatened.
Yeah, by the Clintons. And they erased that. I can't find it on the internet anymore. I remember even said it back in the day because I'm from that era. But you try to find evidence of this on the internet, it's very difficult. You can't find it. I swear it was scrubbed from the internet.
Yeah, and he had told people that, if you get me on the ballot in all 50 states, I will run. And so that's what happened. He kept all of the campaign quarters going, and every once in a while he would call in. But he said, and the interesting thing is, a bunch of Jerry Brown people, the Brown people from the Brown campaign, came over to Ross Perot, and because they were both very against NAFTA. Yeah. And he said, I will run if you get me on all 50 states. And everybody just literally committed, and they got him on all 50 states, and he ran. And a lot of people felt that he would have had a good shot at winning if he hadn't actually dropped out in the middle for a while and then continued, because he got something like 22%, which is not bad at all. Yeah. I mean, for a first time run, for a first time party, that's not bad at all.
You know, the Secret Service plays dirty games, and you know they've been really playing like, you know, that from the beginning. Epstein, you think he killed himself?
He's a billionaire. He knows these people, and they still threatened him.
Yo, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, it's straight like that. That's how the business goes. The higher you go, the more crooked it gets. That's real. That's real. You know what I mean? The more things that are at stake. So a lot of people don't understand that.
They sent the IRS to his house.
I mean, that's just part of the game. That's just really like, you know, like I told you, I move constantly, like I'm on the move. Like these people do not play fair. You know what I mean? And these people don't understand how dirty it is. But you touch like these people in any way, like you try to get at the millions, you're gonna have like mad heat. So, but anyways, let's get back to the, you know, I don't want to discourage anybody. Honestly, yeah.
The other thing I liked about them kind of passing the torch, saying, okay, it's this person's way, it kind of gives you an idea that there are several people in all these leadership roles. And so if you knock one person out, there's many more, and they're going to slot somebody else in. And I love that. I love this idea of this kind of like political hydra, or if you cut off one head, two grow in its place.
That's why it's so important. That's why it's so important.
The shock doctrine, it works both ways. Exactly. And we can take advantage of that too.
That's why we have to train other people. That's why we have to like grow this movement. So that's really our call to action. Like we are the ones out there because there's so few people that have the energy or time, or they got distracted by these commercialist values. But right now, our call to action is honestly, right, it doesn't have to start off a little bit, but, you know, start to commit more, but come to some of the meetings just to learn. It's a great way to learn, just to, like, if you want to run a business, right, and then you can learn how to, like manage your employees, things like this is things schools don't teach you. If you're in high school or even college, you know what I mean, like, you should just, like, attend these things just to learn how to manage people and to manage teams. This is really some top-notch people here. So I just can't say enough good things about it. I'm super excited. You know how to motivate a team. These people have their game down, and it's really cool to watch. And I'm excited to be part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I also like how they kind of like the different personalities kind of branches. So there are people who are more like, you know, sort of conciliatory, and other were kind of, you know, like moderately authoritative, and others were very motherly, you know, and Jerry, who's like, you know, like warrior hog. And so I love all the different personalities, and that, you know, that they kind of make this whole, you know.
That's smart. You know, I mean, there's a lot of smart moves that they make. And so the thing is that after you experience this and you see something else, you're gonna recognize the difference. So yeah, basically that's all I have to say about this particular one. I can't wait till this weekend when we're gonna have our next podcast every Sunday. Boom, maybe I get it up Monday, but you know, we'll see what's up. Hey, look forward to seeing you on the next one. And once again, the power is really in you. You know, I mean, we are really praying to really make you guys and turn up the activism level in the viewers right here. So thank you so much.
That's right.
All right, so see you guys on Sunday. All right, peace.
On Sunday.
All right. These videos are independently produced and funded, and your support is deeply appreciated. Liking the video and subscribing helps the channel, and ringing the bell icon will keep you notified as to when we upload new content. You can also check out our other social media platforms. We'd love to hear from you. We also have our event calendar, links in the description. On our Reddit, you can come in and get on the conversation and you know, check out some of the memes. Like and share, it really helps us in the YouTube algorithm. Every week on Sunday, we have a live online meeting where you can join us in working to create and nurture the change that we need. I'd like to invite you to check out some of our other videos. Until next time, may all your actions bring you success. Stay focused, stay strong, and reinvest in yourself as well as your community. Together, our efforts can be greater than the sum of the parts. The power is in your hands. Thanks for watching.